everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Osweiler's Texans going up against Ryan's Falcons. So with that, we'll send you out to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, home of the Dirty Birds, where we bring in the two men who will call the action. That's Brandon Goffin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Larry, in what is scheduled to be its final season as an NFL stadium, there's a look at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Oh, shit.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now a play, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word.
And this play will be blown.
All right.
He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye.
Come on.
He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and that'll make it third down. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers.
It's wet like water splash. Yeah. Bro! Oh my God, bro.
Incomplete. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt.
Every offensive coordinator,
Yeah, reach that bullshit.
they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did.
Yeah,
they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways.
That nigga that's tipsy.
His height to make a great play.
Some.
But what he
Man
does
right there.
is he takes away having to make
Finest.
those slide steps in the
Whatever
pocket
it
to
say. Move,
find
fuck.
angles to throw the ball through. He just goes right over the top of it because he can see everything. And sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Yo, it's doing
And there's another
good.
completion to the tight
I
end.
feel
Let's
like
face
it
it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their
He
speed
that nigga
guys,
think I'm
they like that
trash.
huge 6'6" target that they've got in
You said, if he said trash, think I'm damn trash. Think I'm damn trash.
You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They go play action here on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I ain't even click that bullshit.
And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one.
Yeah, he can hear me. His ass ain't talking in the mic and shit.
Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought he caught that motherfucker. Yeah, like say fuck no.
Falcons, although next year, obviously everyone will be
No, they not.
holders from rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell. An extra year, well, they're only a year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing.
I'm gonna plug my
You
mic.
expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15.5 and also had 6 forced fumbles. I don't care how remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Throwing, Osweiler. This will be caught just inside the 10.
Brandon, if I told you in preseason that DeAndre Hopkins would have less than 1,000 receiving yards, would you have looked at me funny?
I would have. He's coming off a 1,500-yard season, and he's gotten better each and every year through the first 3.
And they have weapons around him now. Will Fuller can stretch the field. Braxton Miller, when they get him back healthy, he can fly as well. They got Lamar Miller as a running back in free agency. They've got people who can stretch things open and get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins in open field, but he had a connection that wasn't very good with his quarterbacks this season.
And by the way, Charles, touchdown production dropped big time too. 11 last season, 4 this year. No gain, and it's second down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
All right, here we go.
On second down, Osweiler. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, here's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. 15 yards down to the 15 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Freeman again. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the deep
can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. Grady Jarrett breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. On 4th down, the Texans will turn it over to the active leader in punting yards, and that's Shane Leckler. Back deep for the Falcons is Eric Weems. This is taken at the 15. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. On 2nd down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones. Just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course, he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be 1st down Atlanta.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you? That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's pumped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
It's caught left side, Tammy. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is under...
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will knock things up here late in the first half. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Right side, caught Fedorowicz. They can't tackle him. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. Underneath for Miller. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now Osweiler on 2nd down. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A nice gain of 21 yards. And quickly they get to the line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
Final play of the half. It's Osweiler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And Novak's kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now they're in the hurry up.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles.
And got his man complete. 20, 10. And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score. Julio Jones, 85 yards. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Miller, the lone setback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Miller, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Now it's Osweiler, and that is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and now it's fourth down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll try and throw for it with Osweiler. He finds his target, Fuller. That one good for 12 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So they're operating in the red zone.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. He's got Fuller. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. To throw again is Osweiler. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, it's just
Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 81 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
the memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. The throw on 1st down with Osweiler. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Texans are going to have a first. Back now in Atlanta. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They go play action here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brian Cushing in there to sack him for a loss of 6. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense, Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They needed 17 on third down, and that's exactly what they got. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. On second down, Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel, 42 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, what a move. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he's got it over the middle, Fedorowicz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Fresh set of downs here. From the shotgun, Osweiler. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. That'll bring up second down.
Well, this say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and now it's third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing again, Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Now let's go. 3-19. All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit.
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, I think he was in search of his own team and his own destiny as maybe a Super Bowl quarterback. They gave him a great opportunity, and he took advantage of it and headed to be a Texan.
This will be caught at about the 5. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Again, Osweiler. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Back there, not Philly. Here we go. Leopard. Leopard.
Osweiler will throw again. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
3-19. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit. Gone. Gone. Leopard. Leopard.
To throw again is Osweiler. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Here we go. It's Osweiler on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And
pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Here's Matt Bosher now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. That's complete. It's Collins. A gain of 4 on the play. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
On second down, Osweiler. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. They tried the fade there to the back corner, and Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult because you have to start the route to give yourself enough space to actually fade away from the defender and stay in bounds, just as you described. If the defender's able to take away that little bit of cushion, it's often hard to come down inbounds with the ball and complete the play.
And that will be incomplete as well. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
All right, here we go. Back to Philly. Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Feasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on